Our final topic is the one. We are one note, one chord, one key, one scale, one instrument, with one purpose, to live our true authentic life. We are the cause, a sympathetic vibration that creates the effect of sympathetic resonance, through the simple and intricate processes of our mind, and by extension, we are intuitively designing our world. Sympathetic vibration and sympathetic resonance are two of the most important terms in our series. Let us recap what we have done so far, shall we? In episode 1 we addressed the truth, and the fact that truth is a unit unto itself with a built-in defense mechanism. In other words, truth defends itself by its very nature, so its authenticity cannot in any way be disputed due to the inability to find fault in its nature, that is the truth. In episode 5 we talked about perfection and what that means. We extended that thought to include having the right attitude towards perfection so that we feel good about working towards it. In episode 2 we brandished the idea of mediocrity to expose exactly what it is and why we as human beings must never be caught in its perversive waves of persuasion. Episodes 3 and 4 were all about a commonly referenced statement that is used as a truncated facade by those who only follow fashion trends, even when the fashion is intangible, such as spirituality is. We made very clear identifiers which, if you were to follow them very carefully, you would be able to navigate your life far away from these shallow types of people that are emotionally vampiric by nature. This led us to face the one thing in this world that is the cause of debilitating, emotional instability and immobility, to the point that it stunts the capacity of one to grow and progress mentally throughout life. In episodes 6 and 7, we took on the Goliath of fear. We discovered its weak points and learned how to create within ourselves the smallest concentrated power to overcome its effects, while recognizing that to feel it is inevitable. In episode 8, we took on the ones who call themselves gurus, and turned this topic on its back to reveal the underbelly of what is true about this claim, and what is not. In conclusion, we showed how we as human beings have the immeasurable capacity to become more than a guru, if we are sincere about living a better quality of life, that is not intertwined with dogma and pathological emotional junkiisms, that make us addicted to being in a group, just to feel uplifted by the excitement and euphoria of praise and adoration sensationalism. I felt that in episode 9, I needed to come off of my soapbox for a moment to tell you about me, and I revealed my shortcomings and failings so that you, the reader and or listener, can understand that I'm not a saint, nor do I claim to be. I am simply a man, like any other, who has taken severe risks in life to pay attention to the more subtle things that I found are actually keys to life. The struggle to continuously, and ferociously, abide by these laws is very real, and still with me today. And if it were not for the visceral and tangible results that I have experienced personally, I would have quit a long time ago. In fact, I did several times, and strongly considered suicide as a way out. And, do you know what? Life became even more unbearable, because I quit. It absolutely did. The thing with spirituality is, that when you experience it in your life, as the saying goes, you can't unsee this stuff. The experiences you are privy to, become permanently etched into your diatonic bioenergetic framework, that you describe as your body, and this becomes a new app installed in your communicative hardware, your mind. So here we are, at the final episode in this series. And it is the final stretch, on the last lap, towards the freedom that I promised you. This is if you have been applying yourself to the lessons I've disseminated so far. In researching this final topic, it was mentally taxing because the concepts I'm about to ask you to lend an ear to are very complex. For me to simplify them into concrete form, without rendering them inert, is something I must do carefully. So I encourage you to listen attentively. Pause if you must, replay that part, or this part, if it becomes necessary, because above all else, what I reveal here this day is the very quintessential core of harmonious human living. So here goes. One of the most important questions of existence is, who are we? I propose the following as the answer. We are one note that is harmonically and sympathetically resonant at the same time, and we are to form one chord, which explains our inexplicable desire to commune, and seeks out fellowship with others we see as the same as we are. We need to find our harmonic third, and augmented fifth and octave in life, because music cannot be created alone, or in the vacuum of singularity. In our foremost awareness, we must understand that we are part of one key, consisting of 13 notes, which includes ourselves, and every time we are struck, there is sympathetic resonance from our 12 compadres, emanating our leadership, our pain and suffering, our joys and successes, all in tone and quality. So it is part of our duty to be cognizant of what we are part of, as one scale, which reorients our perception of I to the perspective of we, because ultimately, we are a part of one instrument, who has only one purpose, to express the mind of the player, the musician. Now, because of the dual nature of our mind, we are both the instrument and the musician, fulfilling this one purpose by creating an infinite masterpiece we call life. There was an intelligent and intriguing gentleman by the name of John Cael. He called this force that I described above by a fancy name, sympathetic vibration. But according to another amazing human scientific mind embodied in the person of Dale Pond, this is love in action, physical tangible action. When one entity has an experience, note being struck by a hammer, then its matching counterpart experiences the same effect relationally, because of quantum entangled proximity. Notes not struck, but their strings resonate because of two things. They are all connected to the same soundboard, and they are mathematically harmoniously related to the note that was struck in some way. Sympathetic vibration is the cause of sympathetic resonance, the effect, which can then be the cause of an infinite number of seemingly unrelated resonances. The law of probability is at work. This is why there are no coincidences or randomnesses. Because of the nature of these vibrational laws, when the lower vibrations ascend, and increase their rate of vibration, on returning back down to its natural state of rest, it is changed from its original singularity into disharmonic duality. That means to say, for example, if a flamenco guitarist first tunes his guitar, then plays it aggressively for 6 hours, without stopping, the force and stresses on the strings will cause them to change. Some of those changes are stretching, increase, or decrease in temperature, and most times, one or more strings will break under those conditions. They are forever changed. This simple explanation is the exact same thing that happens to us as human beings in our lives, because we, like the strings of a guitar and the strings of a grand piano, vibrate sympathetically, both for and against life. Remember how I said earlier, we are both the musician and the instrument? We are the musician in our mind, and so we plan our courses of action, and then execute them with the movement of our bodies. This is a highly intuitive faculty function, operating as a pair, and that leads to what is known as human progression, and, such is the case in meditation, without action. The causality of this life would be that it would cease to exist if there were really true harmony, and that is why a utopian society will never exist. To live your true authentic life is to actively participate in both the playing of the instrument and the duty of being played, and to see both as equal and integral, to make your personal pursuit of happiness physically enjoyable and fulfilling. We are the many, but you are the one. Welcome to the life we here at Living Magic propose, and that is to live your true authentic life. We are the many, but you are the one.